Hey guys, what's up? It's Iflin here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to play Gara in Warframe in 2019. Now, it's no secret that Gara is my absolute favorite Warframe in this game. She's great for newer players, she's great for veteran players, she is so versatile and so easy to get, it is absolutely insane. To get her, all you have to do is go to Cetus, do the quest for Kanzu called Saya's Vigil, and then after that, you're going to get the blueprint for her. Then you go to the Plains Vital and Bounties, do those, get the parts for the blueprints for the parts, and then craft them in your foundry, put her together, and you have pretty much one of the best frames in the game, in my opinion, at least top 5. She's got damage reduction, she's got AoE damage, she's got defensive ability, she's got CC ability, she's got really good augments. Everything you could ask for, Gara pretty much has, right? So what we're here to do today is learn how to play her whenever we get her, right? So, first ability, it's a pseudo exalted, which means it's going to take from the melee mods that you have equipped to your melee weapon, including Rivens. So to make the most out of this ability, you want to get a melee weapon that has a high Riven disposition, and then you get a melee Riven mod for that weapon, which has a high damage stat, right? So like we're talking higher than 300% or something like that. Pair that with the likes of Pressure Point, make a really damaging build, just stack as much damage on it as possible, and that's going to make this ability deal a shit ton of damage, okay? So if you're holding the first ability down, it's going to deal slash damage, you tap it, it's going to deal puncture damage, right? So puncture for armor, slash for flesh. So armor is yellow, flesh is red. Just for those of you who don't know. Second ability, Splinter Storm. 90% damage reduction and damage per tick whenever you walk close, okay? So if you walk up to an enemy, it's going to deal damage equivalent to what is down in the bottom right-hand corner just above my ammo count, right? We're going to be able to make the scale up higher by using our 4 and our 1 combined with our 2, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. You can also cast this on defense objectives, your companions, your allies, and even enemies. Now, the enemies won't get the damage reduction. They're just going to have the damage dealt to them, where your allies, defense objectives, etc., they're going to have the damage reduction applied to them and also have that damage per tick as well, which is really, really cool. And they can also get the scaling damage, which we're going to demonstrate in a second. Third ability is Spectronage, and this is going to make these little mirrors right here, and they float around. This is a CC ability. You put this on doorways and stuff. Enemies are going to walk in here, see the mirrors, they're going to shoot at the mirror, shooting the reflection, deal damage back to themselves, and then these mirrors are going to explode, dealing damage to them. It's an alright ability, but you don't have to use it. It's kind of a waste of energy, because what we're going to be doing with the fourth ability, second ability, and first ability is a little bit intense on the energy, so you want to make sure that you have as much energy as possible, but, you know, it's not a bad ability to have casted on a doorway where you think, you know, maybe a high like priority target is going to be coming from or something like that. It even has some funny interactions with a few bosses, and they don't know what to do, and that's kind of funny to watch, right? Okay, fourth ability. This is a defensive AoE nuke ability. You can hold it and make it super big. Now, this makes a big glass cylinder around you, and this big glass cylinder is made up of 12 different panels. If you look here, you can kind of see the split between 2 of them, right? And all 12 of these glass panels are going to have health equal to one another, and you can increase the amount of health that each glass panel has by using this ability and having it gloss over enemies on the field. So it's going to have bonus health equal to the health that the enemy it passed over, right? I think that's how it works. It might not be exactly like 100% of that enemy's health, but it's going to get bonus health based on the amount of health that, you know, the enemy you glossed over or enemies that you glossed over had, right? So that's how it scales in terms of being a defensive ability, right? That's how Gara is kind of competitive as a defensive frame. The downside is because you have to make it so big to get that scaling health on all 12 panels. Using this versus the likes of Corrupted and Corpus, it's kind of a no-no, because the bigger it is, the higher chance there is for a nullifier to just touch one of the panels and shatter that one section of your big glass sphere, right? So that's not very epic. The enemies are just going to get through. You don't want that happening, so I wouldn't really be using her as a defensive frame versus the Corrupted or the Corpus. You can definitely do it versus the Infested and the Grenier because they don't have anything to get through it apart from their damage output, right? But, you know, you're going to be using this as an AoE nuke anyway because of the amount of damage that you can deal with this and the stacking of the second ability or the stacking of the damage on the second ability anyway. So, that's cool. But how does it all interact, right? So we have our fourth ability casted and ready to go. We cast our second ability. We stand outside our big glass prism, and we go ahead and we use our 1. Doesn't matter if you tap it or you hold it down. What's going to happen is all the glass from your 4 is going to hit Gara, and it's going to add to the damage of her second ability, right? Now, you can refresh the duration of your second ability by casting your 4. Jump outside of it again. Use your 1 on it. And it's going to make the damage go even higher. Now, the amount of damage that you get added is based off the mods that you have equipped to your melee and also your power strength equipped to your frame at the time. And you just want to keep on doing this over and over and over again. The damage down the bottom right-hand corner, the damage of your Splinter Storm, can stack up to 2 billion. The only reason it stops at 2 billion is because it would just break the Warframe engine because that's kind of the number cap off it, right? Anything higher will just break the game. So you can stack this up as much as you want to. She's probably one of the fastest scaling frames in the game if you play her right. She can outscale a lot of DPS frames. And in return, you get this basically walking tank and spank, fast movement speed, good CC, shared damage reduction, everything, you know, all in the one package. And you can even have a augment mod which makes your second ability heal you as well, which is phenomenal, right? So you don't even need to have a Trinity on your squad. You don't need to have what is it, Arcane Magus equipped? I forget what the Arcane is called for my operator that restores my health, but even though that's a really, really, really good Arcane to have, you don't necessarily need it with the augment, right? So you can see that in the bottom right hand corner now, we've got 350k damage stacked up just from a few casts. Now, you'll notice that my energy runs out pretty fast. What you want to be using, and if you haven't got to the second dream, I recommend clicking off this video now because there's going to be a spoiler in literally 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You want to be using Energize and Dash to keep your energy up, right? So you cast your 4, you dash out of it, you turn around, use your 1 on your 4, and then rinse and repeat. 4, dash out, turn around, 1. 4, dash out, turn around, 1. And that's how you keep your energy going up. 5 energy per second, implying you have Energize and Dash from the Zeteric tree maxed out. And you also scale your damage up. So we're at 500k damage per tick right now on our Splinter Storm. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to spawn in level 110 Heavy Gunners. So let's go ahead and spawn in 10 of them. Level 110 is about the highest level you're going to get in sortie level content. It's kind of what I, you know, just do my videos on now because there's no real enemies that are any higher. But check this out. These guys just, they're dead. You know, all you're doing is walking up to them. Here's the gloss over effect as well. So they are completely turned in the glass, completely immobile, which is really, really cool. It's kind of like M Prime, except it just stops them. So Gara is just so many frames sort of mixed into one, right? You've got the damage reduction, kind of from Shatter Shields. That's a shit ton of damage there. You've got the damage reduction, similar to Shatter Shield. You've got the CC effects from M Prime. You've got the defensive capabilities, kind of like Frost. You've got some CC. You've got some healing with the augment. Great frame. 600k damage. It just keeps on going up and up and up. And then, like I said, you can use your 4 with your 1 as an AoE damage dealing ability as well. Okay, so if we were to make our big glass cylinder and then we jump out of it, we use our 1. You can see that that dealt a little bit of damage to those guys. Now, they have a lot of armor, so it's basically going to tickle them. But versus those lower level enemies, like level 60 and whatnot, maybe 2 or 3 casts of it is going to knock, you know, the bombards and the heavy gunners out of the game. Even Noxus, for example. So, you know, you can go ahead, you can cast your second ability on your allies. And if they are playing around your big glass cylinder as you're casting it and breaking it and whatnot, they're going to get that scaling damage per tick as well. It's not easy to track though, because it doesn't show you like what your friends are at. It shows you how long is left on their second ability cast, but it doesn't show you like what it's skilled up to, similar to yours, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. Like, you're gonna be killing everything anyway just by walking up to them, so what does it matter? But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the build for my Gara. Now, I have 2 different builds, and they are some pretty insane builds. I am using Umbral mods, so I've got Umbral Fatality on here, boosting up the effects of Umbral Intensify and vice versa, because that's how Umbral mods work. This is for my health. This is for my strength, combined with Power Drift and Transient Fortitude, Streamline for efficiency, Stretch for range, Constitution, and Prime Continuity for power duration, Prime Flow on here for more energy, but you don't necessarily have to use this because you have Energizing Dash, right? So that's where this build comes into play. I sacrificed my Prime Flow for more duration and less strength, because your strength or your damage is going to be scaling up a shit ton anyway, so what does it matter if you have a little bit less strength on there? And we just have that duration on there, so, you know, our Splinter Storm is less likely to drop off, because if it does drop off, right, so let's go ahead, cast it, and build up some damage real fast, okay, and that's how we jump off the map, yeah, it's going to wipe the ability from you, and you're going to have to start stacking again, which is why having a high duration on there, I believe with this build, it's like 45, 46 seconds or something like that, is very, very, very important, right? So that's where this build comes into play. You're sacrificing Prime Flow for a little bit extra duration, and I also believe a little bit more range too. Yeah, so you get a little extra duration, a little bit more range, which is really, really cool. And yeah, great frame. 110% recommend picking her up. As for the Pseudo Exalted build, I'm using the Jaw Sword. I've got Prime Pressure Point, Shocking Touch, Prime Fever Strike, Jaw Sword with a Riven for critical damage and melee damage, 327%, and minus critical hit chance on side attacks, Spoiled Strike, Organ Shatter, Blade of Truth for more melee damage, and Sacrificial Steel for more critical chance. You could just keep on stacking as much melee damage on here as possible. Like, you could throw on, I don't know if heat damage works. I have no idea. I don't know if elementals work. Not too sure about all of it, but, you know, I would recommend just using your favorite Zaw anyway. You know, use your Spin the Wind Zaw, use your Condition Overload Zaw, because you're going to stack up your damage an insane amount anyway. And unless you're going for like a record-breaking numbers, chances are you don't need to go past like maybe 2 million damage or something like that. So, you know, I would stack my way up to like maybe 1.5 million to 2 million in a survival mission or defense mission, because, you know, you shouldn't be going past like, I want to say maybe 40 waves in how Warframe plays out now. So there's that. But anyway, that's how you play Gara. You press your 2, you press your 4, you jump outside of your 4, you press your 1, rinse, and repeat. And then if you want to, you know, use that as a defensive ability, well then stack up your damage for your second ability, and then keep on recasting your 4 to refresh duration of your 2, and gloss over enemies while you're doing it. And that's how it works. So that's Gara. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, go ahead, hit that like button below. If you want to see more Warframe content from me, hit subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.